Hi, welcome to the market alert for Thursday, the 1st of August 2024. So bonds and gold soar in July amid dot-com style collapse in crowded trades. Interesting that it says that gold soared in July. I suppose it did. It made a new all-time high, but certainly not the last couple of weeks. US stocks gained amid tech strength and a dovish Powell. So again, he's talking about rate cuts. And stocks and bonds bid while dollar falls as Powell leans dovish. Well, we've got an election coming up, so probably some reason for this as well. And economic news for today. It's Bank of England's turn today. Official bank rate is to be cut again by the looks of things. 5.25 down to 5.0. And then Bailey is going to be speaking after this. And then over to the US for some other economic news, ISM manufacturing being the number one high impact news item there. Right, let's have a look at yesterday's markets and see what the Dow had in store following Powell's comments last night. So in the Dow, we can see we're heading back to the all-time highs. We mentioned this yesterday. We've got the non-farm payrolls out tomorrow, so that should help the market get back to this 41,415. You can see the positive overnight as well, already starting to move to the upside. Then the 30-minute chart yesterday morning, prices were up in the electronics session and then they moved lower before just as the cash market opened, and then it was a one-way bet all the way. A lot of profit taking though coming into the market just before the close, but overnight the market above the close and the DP there, and all of the averages in the right alignment there. Just as the 5 is passing through the 20 bar moving average there. In the German DAX, the market remains sideways. Still a bit of supply around in this market as it tries to move higher and keeps getting impacted, but just treading water there at the moment. The all-time high for this market is still at 18,921. In the 30-minute chart, the market is sideways there for yesterday. Not a lot to report there in the 30-minute chart. There's only a range of 100 points there between the high and the low, apart from a couple of breakouts either side. So about 125 point range for the German DAX yesterday. In the S&P 500, the market moving higher as well. Huge volumes for yesterday, also above the high of yesterday at the time of recording as well. You can just see that they're just sitting on yesterday's high. One-way bet yesterday for the S&P, which you can see they're moving higher. Then you've got Powell and the FOMC meeting minutes there. Look at the increase in volume all the way through these 30 minutes. Market holding quite nicely there for the S&P. And if we just go back to the daily chart, we're not too far off that all-time high there of 5670. And like I say, we've got the NFP numbers out tomorrow. FT100 is breaking out of its sideways range there. It's doing its best to anyway. It's currently holding, if you look at it this way, and then of course inside of this range as well, you can see that it's having an attempt now to break out of this sideways move. And of course today you've got the bank rate cut coming as well, so that's going to help. Markets up during yesterday, pullback during lunchtime in the Dow opening, but only coming back to the R2 before prices then continued higher. I suspect we'll get through the high today when we get the bank rate cut at midday. US dollar is lower, certainly sharply lower yesterday following Powell's comments, but finding a bit of support there at the moment. So let's have a look at the impact on the metals yesterday with regards to Powell's comments and the unchanged FOMC meeting minutes and Fed funds rate. So silver was up yesterday, but already starting to make its way down. Don't be surprised if we head back down to $28 during today. There you can already see the weakness starting to come into the market. But yesterday, prices up and down before in the afternoon. That's a classic. What's about 4? Oh no, it's with Powell, isn't it? That's at 7:30 when he started to speak. And then his dovish comments obviously boosted the price of silver there. Gold also breaking out, not too far off the all-time highs there at 24.83, which is more than can be said for silver. And the 30-minute gold price sideways really to higher waiting for Powell, and then the press conference sees prices move higher, finding a bit of support at the moment at the 20 bar moving average. But don't be surprised if they try and bring this back down, because it's only a comment that's moved the market back to the upside there with these so-called dovish comments and potential rate cuts coming in either September or December. But if it's going to be before the election, then it has to be September, when it's the next press conference and meeting. Okay, let's have a look at yesterday's trades. So yesterday we saw a bit of a move to the upside before the market opened, no surprise there. And then we got into the opening of the cash market. Prices were sideways and then started to move higher. We then had a potential sell signal that wasn't filled. This was taken out. That means that the stop was taken out before the entry was filled. We then had a potential buy signal, and the market was trading sideways. I thought we may have actually moved slightly lower there, but we broke out, and I drew in this resistance here as prices then traded sideways. So I took the profits at that resistance level, and then it was a matter of a potential short there. But unfortunately, one of the neighbours had come to the door and I wasn't able to trade this one. But you can see prices making the way down there, and a bit of a green bar coming in. So there's green inside of the red, which indicates there's some buying inside of that particular price and price bar and price level. We then had another potential sell with prices moving down, and then we got into the mid-morning with prices coming down to the high and trying to get back above the high and the 200 MA there, which you can see, and then managing to succeed at doing this. So it's always important to look at these levels, and despite the fact that the market breaks the high, it doesn't matter, because you can see how they try to bring the market back each time, and then succeeded in doing so there. As we headed into the mid-morning session there, coming back below the 200 MA, but staying above the high, but then I think it gets tested, doesn't it? We've got the market back above the 200 MA there, two economic news items before we get into the afternoon session there. So once again, back above that 200 MA, shakeout to begin with, down to the high, and also down to yesterday's close before we get a potential buy signal. The market moving back up above the high and the 200 MA there. As the prices got to this level, I decided to take the money as we got selling where the market had come through the 200 MA before. Market moved slightly higher after I got out, but then traded in a sideways range as it waited for the FOMC meeting minutes to be released, and then one final push to the downside back to the high, green inside of the red bar there, indicating that there was some potential buying and possibly a good idea to get out given the market was waiting for that data later on in the evening. Okay, a quick look at what the market's doing overnight. It's stuck in a bit of a range. We've got the R1 high, close and the DP. So yesterday's close and high is there. And then below this we've got the S1 and the low. Currently in the 2-minute chart, the averages are on the downside, but that doesn't really matter because it'll soon bring in some buying, as you can see there, with green inside of the red bar, trying to move back up towards the DP, and hopefully a follow through with the dovish comments that were made by Powell during yesterday. So let's see what today brings as the markets start to wake up and start to trade. So with that, as ever, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.